Right then. So, today's topic, little bit more focused, little bit more niche than the last video. Today we are looking at Wales, my home country, and the country I will be rooting for in the qualification stages. Qualifying is underway for a lot of nations already. Right now, I was just watching Australia, Indonesia. Australia 4-0 up in that game, so not a good start for Patrick Kluivert as Indonesia manager. But to look at the Wales squad, I kind of want to look at our chances at making the World Cup. So, I've mentioned, if you haven't watched the first video, go check it out. But I will be going to the World Cup whether Wales make it or not, whether I can get tickets or not. But yeah, I wanted to take a closer look at our squad for the next internationals, look at our group. I will be sort of doing a hyper focus on Wales for every international break. And yeah, I'll be interested to see how we do. It's a bit of an uncertain period. Craig Bellamy, of course, has come in and has implemented a lot more attacking style of football, but I think it's a lot more risky than the football we were playing before. But I think neutrals will prefer watching us than under Rob Page. So yeah, let's look at the squad. So in terms of goalkeepers, we've got Danny Ward, who has been a staple of our squads for some years now. Carl Darlow, I think he might be the favourite to be number one. And then Adam Davis. So again, as has been a tradition, goalkeeper is a bit of a weak position for us. Defence, I think the starting back four kind of picks itself if everyone's fit. It's going to be Connor Roberts, Joe Rodon, Ben Davis, Nico Williams. Again, very attacking. That's two fullbacks that are going to bomb up the pitch. And then Davis and Rodon are probably going to be very isolated. But it will make for some fun viewing. And against these two nations, you kind of want us to be on the front foot and want us to be attacking. That was kind of what was so frustrating under Page, is when we played lesser nations, quote unquote, we wouldn't really assert ourselves onto the game. So yeah, I think Ben Cabangos and Chris Mepham, okay, they're not great. I wouldn't want to rely on them as starters, but as squad players, they're okay. Midfield, Joe Allen, it gets picked again. It kind of shows how short we are in central midfield. But Jordan James is a real bright spark, and he has been performing really well in recent internationals. Other than that, I don't think any position is nailed on. I like David Brooks a lot, but his output for Bournemouth this year hasn't been great. But the fact he's been playing in such a great team probably gives him an advantage and a chance to start. And then in forward areas is where we do have a decent amount of depth. I think, for me, the natural choice for the front three is Dan James, Brennan Johnson, Kiefer Moore. James and Johnson having pretty good seasons. Probably our two best players. And Kiefer Moore, he's reliable. He does what he does. He's a target man, and he gets other players involved. It's been a tricky season for Nathan Broadhead, but I still like him. I like him as an option off the bench. Lewis Kumas as well is a player that can make a difference off the bench. Mark Harris. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the strongest Welsh team, but the change in approach and in style is very promising. We went unbeaten in the Nations League, granted against not the greatest opposition, but we really gave Turkey two really good games, and that's, to me, a strong national team, and we finished above them in the group. So, yeah, I think it's a decent squad, and for these two fixtures, it should be enough. We'll get to it now. What I would say, this is a pretty favourable group. Liechtenstein are, maybe Gibraltar aside, the worst nation in Europe. So if we don't win by 3 or 4 at least in both games, that'll be a disappointment. And then the two teams we're facing in this first window, Kazakhstan and North Macedonia, while they are plucky, dangerous teams that have had a history of upsets, of course, Kazakhstan with that famous comeback 3-2 win against Denmark in the qualifiers for the Euros. And they almost made it to the Euros. And North Macedonia, even more famously, dumping out Italy of the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. So, yeah, I mean, we can't, especially the away games against those nations, we can't take our foot off the gas. We have to treat them very seriously, and I'm pretty confident we will. So of a playoff spot, I'm pretty confident, and then it depends who you get. Who's injured for those 2 games. It is a bit of a toss-up with playoff games. But in terms of winning the group, the big team in our group is Belgium, which, being honest, of all the teams in pot 1, probably one of the ones I would have wanted. I would definitely have picked Belgium over, England, France, the Netherlands, Germany, Spain, even Italy. I think Italy are starting to look a bit better now. Belgium are sort of in disarray. They've just hired Rudy Garcia, which, for those of you who don't know much about Rudy Garcia, that is basically the equivalent to, we couldn't get anybody else, so we're going to settle for Rudy Garcia. He was horrific at Napoli last season, and everybody kind of knew he would be. So it's a bizarre choice. Thibaut Courtois is back in the setup, so that's an added bonus for them, because he is probably still the best goalkeeper in the world. But as far as the rest of their team, you think about the golden generation of Belgium. Kompany's long retired, Hazard's long retired. De Bruyne's best days are definitely beyond him. He looks well off the pace in the Premier League. But maybe in the international stage, you'll still be able to dictate games because of the slower pace. Yuri Tielemans is a lovely player, and I would say he's probably their best outfield player at the moment. Romelu Lukaku is Romelu Lukaku. He's a solid striker. So that they have good players, but I don't think they're world beaters, and I don't think Wales will be intimidated by playing them. And we have a decent record against Belgium in the past. We beat them at the Euros. We beat them at the qualifiers for that Euros. So it's almost like a mini rivalry now. 2 sort of small nations overachieving. So, yeah, and I feel pretty good. We'll see how this first winner goes. Kazakhstan at home on Saturday. And then it's the North Macedonia game on the Tuesday, I believe. So I probably won't get to watch the Kazakhstan game, but I'll be tuning in for the North Macedonia game, and I'll do a little reaction to both games some point next week. So yeah, I'm quite quietly confident that Wales are going to do well, but I don't want to turn that into arrogance, because I think it would be easy to with the group we've got. Let's be honest, we've been given a pretty nice draw. We've avoided, a lot of the tricky teams in pot 3. Scotland spring to mind, a team that I wouldn't have wanted to play. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on the Welsh national team, leave a comment. In fact, leave a comment what country you're from and what chances you think they have of qualifying. Of course, a lot of other confederations are much deeper into the qualifying process, so you'll have a better idea than me. We're starting from scratch here in Europe, so. Yeah, there's more videos to come. I'll be doing a video after this international break, sort of rounding things up, both for Wales and generally, and also looking at the first wave of teams qualified, because we're guaranteed to have at least one team qualified, the first team qualified outside of the hosts. So I'll be doing deep dives into those teams. And also I've got a long form project that's going to be probably going to take a while to make, but it's going to be great once it comes out. More of a documentary style thing, so. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you for another video very soon.